1 HP here. Very low. Eventually going to get that medkit. And some shields left behind there as well. Aliatar, though, what a name to talk about in this match. 8 eliminations for him. 2 for Moonkid and 2 for Agent Joker. But this squad is dominating this lobby and looking to take it all the way. Even without such a elimination-heavy match, they made it pretty far. With only 11 squads left remaining. They want to be in that top 5 ratio. That's where the placement points get really big in these matches. And consistently making that point can make your team a threat in these matches. A threat to make it to qualify. But very little mats on Agent Joker. You can actually see 5 mats in total for Agent Joker. He's going to need to start to farm up here. Not sure if that's a visual glitch or an actual thing, but maybe spotting some players in front of them. They start to crouch around. I'm not sure what they've seen here. Looks like Just Being Gary's just trying to stay alive in this box. Along with J-Man and Colossus. Well, they're stuck in a difficult situation. Storm now ticking. Colossus taken down. J-Man as well. And they're going to be all eliminated here. Aliatar, Moonkid, and Agent Joker finding another few eliminations. And what more can this team do? Aliatar actually eliminated, though. Taken down in zone. That's not what you wanted to happen in this scenario. It looks like the eliminations weren't even caught. They still stay at those 14 eliminations. Actually, I think Aliatar was able to get 2 of them. But one of those players being eliminated by zone. And this is not the situation you want to be in when your top player is taken down this early. They made it far in the match, but the eliminations eventually costing them, and they got to be careful here. Agent Joker, they don't want to be fully eliminated. Moonkid goes down. Agent Joker now left as a solo. And Augusta Gnome, this is exactly what you want to be doing in this situation. You want to find these players that are on the edge of zone, that are close in your path, that you can just pick off and eliminate in a quick fashion. But before they're going to be able to do so, Agent Joker rotating off with that wind ability, with that airbending ability. That's what we talked about early, how pivotal that ability was going to be in these matches, and it looks like it is going to be pretty important for these teams to be carrying. You can look away over here at Risen and Reese the Beast. Gamer has been eliminated since we looked at them the previous time, but some shots being taken. Risen wants to find this damage. That Deagle gonna be used. We don't see this weapon too often, but when we do, some players like to pop off with it. Some shots gonna be taken here. Damage not found initially. Risen has to be careful about peeking out his head a little bit too far. You can get your head taken off easily by a sniper or one of these ARs. Don't want to get too greedy for those eliminations, and that's exactly why Risen is closing up that window. Nine teams left in this match, though. Four eliminations already for Augusta Gnomes. Looking to continue on this rampage. You can hear that car coming up on the left side. Snipe shots being taken. They want to break it. They'll find some damage out of it. Gonna drop onto one of these players. Jumping into this box. And they'll get away for now. But zone coming in. They have to focus on it. They have to prioritize it. They can't get eliminations. And focus on rotating at the same time. Augusta Gnomes spraying down some players. Find some shield cracks. It's good. Those are teams in front of them they want to clear out. Now they're going to be making their way in. CUI leading the charge. Dun Sun following behind as well. And when you early rotate, you have the chance to look back at these teams. You can see them maybe looking to take some high ground here as well. Snipe shots being taken on the outskirts of the zone. But nothing just landing yet. Glitch, though, takes a lot of damage. Cracked in shield needs to pop some medkits as well. Minis can be dropped over, and those Medkit's surely to be popped later on, but you can see that earthbending ability as they try to break through those builds. But eventually they'll box up here. Miniguns has to be careful. Stuck on the edge of zone now. Working his way in. Players nearby. Regroups with his team well. He can use this airbending ability to get ahead, but Elite Nid's taken down and zags. Now the only player, or one of the only players left remaining for the squad. As I say that, Zags is taking out. Miniguns now trying to do some damage. We'll find it on to one. Dunsun goes down. Miniguns, a nice shot. Looking to continue this damage, but not going to be able to do so. And Miniguns is taken out. Dunsun traded, though, in CUI and Augusta Gnome. Looking to continue this rampage. And Kryn Nova popping a medkit, has that mythical shotgun, but no other weapon on the inventory besides that mythic airbending ability. It's going to be very hard for them to survive in this match. See that airbending ability used to rotate down below, maybe looking for an elimination on to Raze, but jumps a little bit too far into zone and now is a bit stuck here. Has to take some damage, has to work his way back in. Gonna wait for zone to come to him, but at what cost? Has a medkit to work with still, but can't get shot from above. You have to be careful of these teams above you, and CUI is going to be one of them. Kryn Nova trying to box up here. We'll pan over to some other teams. Augusta Gnome above him, using this high ground. Going to be taking some shots at the players below. And they'll find it onto one. What a snipe shot from Gnome to get into this fight. A great opener from this guy. And we'll see exactly what he can continue to do throughout this fight. They'll eventually find that elimination from zone. Kryn Nova still in this match. But a CUI's taken down. But what a shot from Gnome onto Risen. And now, very limited options left in this match. Very limited players. Flu, low ground. Nova, mid ground, and Gnome on high. Gnome, 7 eliminations, but no shields remaining. We've seen him do crazy things with the sniper so far, and we'll see if he can continue to do so. Just taking some pop shots with this shotgun. Trying to stay above these teams. They don't want to get knocked down too early, and you'll see him try to suffocate them out. He refarms some wood, trying to get his mats up. Try to spray down onto these teams, but not a lot of damage. Flu doing a great job to play that low ground, and actually Flu coming up top, able to find that elimination. Now Flu trying to finish out this match, but stuck in zone, and will get taken out as a result. Kryn Nova with the mythic shotgun in his inventory, the only weapon needed to do it, and he will be your match 1 winner for our Gold League. And we have more to come. One more match for our Gold League, but what a game for Kryn Nova to clutch out here with 3 eliminations. Ryan Boys, his teammate, went down earlier, but an elimination of his own. And that first place victory royale has to feel good, especially as a solo in those matches. But we have more to come. Alright, hello and welcome back to our second and final match of our Gold League contenders. And what an exciting endgame we had in the previous, hopefully another one to follow this match. We'll see exactly what these players have in store for us. We saw the mythic abilities used a little bit in the previous match, but not as much as I expected from our gold player, so we'll see if that impact is even further in this match. As we dive in here, Lucid Thug, an awesome DDT. As they loot up some of these edge locations, some of these niche POIs that aren't necessarily a named location, but offer some decent loot for these players, especially as a duo, to be safe and secure looting up. So Lucid Thug, that green shotgun, gray SMG, just looking to get a little bit more loot out of this location, but doesn't look like it's going to be possible this match. One of the things that's so important for these early games is having a loot path, having a set out path of where you're going to go in order to loot up a location quickly and concisely and be able to utilize all of that loot that is at that location. So a lot of times what players practice to do is looting up these locations over and over again, knowing exactly where those chests spawn at, knowing exactly where to go next, and what floor loot spawns there are as well, to get a better judgment of just how much loot there is at your location and how quickly you can get it. Especially important when you're getting contested off spawn. Lucid Thug not really in a situation like that, and it seems like his teammate Awesome DDT is a bit separate from him at the time, but nonetheless having an idea of what you're doing in the match is such a good thing to have. Continuing on to some other teams here, we have Steamy, Smells, and Velix, who are looking to change up what they did the previous match. Went out a little bit too early than they would have liked. Steamy, some shots being taken at him by the AI, but it looks like all those shots were whiffed. So luckily not taking any damage there. And just, again, one of these teams that is looting up one of these POIs, one of these vaults that aren't necessarily a named location, but can provide a decent amount of loot for these teams. We continue on a golden drum gun for RWXN and Squidzer. We'll see how this team utilizes those, especially the Shockwave. Just a duo in this match, so it's got to be a little bit difficult for these players to survive. Rocking that all green set today. And we'll continue looking on here. Moonkid, Joker, and Ollie Otter, one of the teams that I expected to go a little bit further than they did in the previous. And actually, Joker, they have to be careful here. A lot of damage going their way. They're able to find it onto one player at least. Actually, yeah, Hunter is the GOAT. Taken out. Joker looking to res his teammate here. Moonkid, Ollie Otter was already taken out. And that's just one elimination from that squad, so still two of these players around this location. You can see those arrows at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen starting to move in the direction of these players. Shockwave going to be used. These players are nearby. They're jumping in here. And Asian Joker's got to be careful. Another Shockwave being used to put some more space in between them, but it doesn't take him too much further either. And now, player's able to jump in on this box. Moonkid in a fight of his own. And Joker finds the damage, finds a good amount, but those clingers tag him up so low. You can see that 50 pot gonna be taken out. Moonkid nearby, there to support for his team. And actually begin to take some shots onto these players. Damage found. Almost the knock for Moonkid. Looking to reposition here and follow what maybe is the remaining player. Looks down, doesn't see him initially. Doesn't spot him below. Moonkid's got to be careful here. This guy is very close, and now unknown to where that player went, where that last remaining player exactly was. You can see Sir Lego is taken out, and Captain Whiskers, the only player left remaining for his team now, and he will survive for now. His teammate's not alive, and actually, as I say that, more teams taking shots at his position. We see all these pink arrows around this location. Lux, Sue Degree, PSU Degree, and Cambot. Three of these players taking some pop shots around the map here. We don't want to allow these players to get this reboot. And they'll be rotating out of their location as well. Continuing on here, a team maybe not the greatest loot is Logan, with only 3 shots in his shotgun, 80 in his SMG. But a gray shotgun and a green SMG is not where you want to be at in these matches, especially with this talented of competition. You can see his teammates actually have a little bit better of loot, so not the end of the world for Logan at this point, as long as you're going to have teammates to back you up in these fights. But you have to be careful, especially about running into teams here on the edge of zone. It looks like there's a fight going on here. Little Draugr is left all on its own. It's eventually going to be taken out. And now Big Huge Colt and that squad, it's going to have to be careful. Blink Master still looking around, still looking back. Not really spotting anybody just yet. But Crossbow and Mag are looking to rotate their way into zone here, working up this hill, but nobody really around this location any longer, at least not next to them exactly. Hitting our way back around here, Pooter, 1-2 Infinity, and Grandma Pookie. Here at the edge zone, Pooter just making it out of the underworld and out of zone. See, Grandma Pookie has a decent amount of shields, but just maybe waiting for his teammates to get next to him to use them. Eventually, those shields will be popped. Panning our way over here, we have Zero Strike, Mini Clicks, and T8 Lol, who are also here towards Grim Gate. A lot of teams around this location. Possibly some fights going down here soon if these teams continue to group up so much. And it looks like Dunsun, CUI, they're looking to get aggressive here. Looking to take this fight. They spot out these players. Kernova, one of the players from our previous match that did pretty well. So going to jump up here and find these eliminations. Kernova, stuck in a box. Dunsun's trying to put some pressure onto him. Trying to take this wall. Kernova holding it for now, looking for an edit. Jumps out of the box. His teammate left behind, but damage done. Dunsun brought low. Gnome is also low in this fight. Granada could do something big here, but is not going to be able to do so. Or Kernova is not going to be able to do so. And CUI, Dunsun, and Gnome are able to find that elimination, those few eliminations, and bring their total up to 6. Lux, PSU Degree, and Cambot taking up this vault location. So important to get your loot up before you get into these endgame situations. You want to be able to fight with the most confidence that you can. That's exactly what these players are going to be doing. They're going to be taking advantage of these locations, of this loot left behind. They're going to be able to upgrade their weapons how they like with whatever attachments they want on them. Lead to a little bit more success. For now we'll leave them. We'll look at Logan, Big Huge Colt, and Kate, or Kay the Master, or Kai the Master. They farm up inside of this box. A team nearby, they have to be wary of it. Looks like Logan's gonna pop some shields here. And he's dropped for him. They're just hopping around this location. And Zone is gonna start to push them in just a little bit. See Logan trying to make it back inside to a safe spot. Now he's not going to be able to do so just yet. Breaking his way out here. It's like Big Huge Colt is going to take some high ground here. Recognizing there's some teams around this location. Doesn't want to be the one left behind. See a few teams just boxed up here. Down below. Colossus, J-Man, and Just Being Gary. They're just camping inside of zone. I'm not sure exactly what the play is here. Don't really want to take a lot of damage, it seems. And they'll stay inside Storm for just a little bit longer. They can hear teams building above them, and they don't really want to take any fight at this point. So they're just going to wait it out. They have Chug Splashes to work with. They don't really want to make any sound, though. Continue looking at some teams around here. The team's starting to rotate around the zone. Dunsun, CUI, Gnome. These three players panning around this location. Not really seeing anything just yet. I think Logan, Big Huge Colt, and Kai the Master. They find an elimination on the one. Just Being Gary. That's one of those players that was just sitting in zone. It's so patient. Is Kai. He's able to stay around from this location and find that elimination out as well, and maybe wait for some more players. But as I say that, he's taken down. CUI actually looking to capitalize on this himself. A Big Huge Colt. They're trying to get the Redis here, but they're coming in now. Walls. They're on him. They're trying to take everything from him, and Colt will go down. And Dunsun, CUI, and Gnome will find a few eliminations now. And a little bit more loot to work with. 8 eliminations for this team. They've dominated the lobby in the past. We'll see if they can continue to do so this match. They're off to a great start. They just don't want to fall too short in this match. Instead, they want to take it all the way to the end this time. Some teams are really good at taking these mid-game fights. Really good at finding these openings and capitalizing on them. But once they get to endgame, they can't close it out. We'll see if that's the case for Dunsun, CUI, and Gnome, or if they are able to break what they did last game, or correct those mistakes, put themselves in a better spot to win the match. Miss Spectre, Gamer, and Slurpee are looking to make their way into zone here. You can see Shockwaves coming out, those wind abilities being so useful in these matches. There's usually a launch pad around this location that teams can take, and it looks like they know about it. It's so important for these teams to have map knowledge and know exactly where these launch pads are, exactly where these rotations are, so they can plan their rotates accordingly. And it's such a big map, so being able to recognize this is so difficult. But it seems like Mist, Gamer, and Slurpee have a great idea of it. They're going to continue on to zone here. Dunsun, you can see at the top left, was able to find it onto Cambot and PSU Degree. One of the teams that looks like to be struggling right now is Smelly, Velix, and Steamy, taking a similar rotate that the previous team did as well. They're trying to fish up a little bit here, trying to get their loot up a little bit more before rotating in. You can see them actually diving on top of a team. They get some high ground on them, but is this the best fight for take for them on the edge of zone right now? It seems like they don't really mind taking it indeed. And Steamy actually will end up rotating back down. And Steamy actually gets shot here. Left on low HP. A snipe shot comes down using that wind ability to get in, but wasn't the right move. Probably should have just carried onto zone. And now CUI, this is an aggressive team. This is not the spot you want to be in. You don't want to be low to these players. As a CUI, they will find it. Gnome there to back him up. Steamy also follows. Now Velix, the only player left remaining, will eventually finish off this squad and add to their tally of eliminations, bringing it up to 11. PSU degree was taken out, will be taken out for the second time now by J-Man and his squad. Now Lux, the only player remaining, just camping out towards the top of this hill. Players nearby. He doesn't want to be spotted, but he doesn't want to build either. Doesn't want to give up his position, so he's just sitting behind this wagon. For now, it'll be okay, but these players spot him out. Just the sliver of that water sticking out. It could mean the end for him. But it doesn't look like J-Man, Gary, or Colossus will do so. And they'll just continue on their way to zone. Raise, Titles, and A-Switch. 2 eliminations of their own in this match, and maybe looking to get a little bit more aggressive here. Team on them at the moment, pressuring inside the boxes. Snipe shots coming through, but nothing really landing at this point. Just trying to take whatever walls they can, but A-Switch actually goes down, and Raze jumps in the box, trying to find these eliminations. Crack shield onto one, the snipe shot not landing, but they'll find eliminations onto at least one. They'll get their res onto their teammate. A-Switch going to be brought back into this, and they'll win out the fight as a result. But they have to be careful of teams pushing up on them. Third parties are so likely in these matches, especially if you give a team an opening or if they see a teammate is downed of yours. So Raze, Titles, and A-Switch choosing to box up here. Holding this position. Taking some meds, getting those heals back up. It's so important for them to do so at this point. You don't want to wait. And they'll start to rotate. Early rotations, we talk about them over and over again. How pivotal they can be in your match. If you can get to zone a little bit sooner than these squads, then you can start to pressure back. You can look for these eliminations. And you won't get pressured yourself as much. And they'll get to zone. And as I say that, looks like some pressure's coming their direction. Raze trying to stay strong here, trying to lay down some barriers for themselves and their teammates. And that metal box will hold them in for now. Switching back over to Dunsun, CUI, and Gusta Gnome. He's got to be careful here. Gnome, very low on HP, stuck away from his team. Doesn't seem like they're grouped up at this moment. 4 HP remains, trying to box up, trying to create some space. Any little bit will help. See them eventually boxing up, just making it out of that fight. The medkit being popped. But a gnome will be dropped. This is one of those situations where fighting could get you into trouble. See CUI dropping onto one of those players. Not able to find that elimination, and Dunsun will be brought down as well. You can see snipe shots coming through, trying to find that damage onto at least one of them, and Grandma Pookie will be eliminated. But there's no refresh in this, and CUI will be taken out as a result. Again, a fury of eliminations, but just not able to make it to where they'd want to be in endgame. 8 squads remain. That's not a lot of players. Or that's a lot of players to still remain. A lot of teams remain in this lobby, and that's not a lot of placement points to be gained. Now J-Man stuck in a similar situation as CUI was. A solo left on low HP forced to take some of these fights, jumping back, looking around, spots the player. Damage done, shield crack now. Agent Joker gonna be caught out now. J-Man trying to take this wall, trying to put some pressure on this fight, has the shields to work with. Joker doesn't look to be the same. Takes that high ground, turns it into a build fight, but this is not what you want to happen. You don't want build fights in these games. You want box fights. You want to stay down on the ground. You don't want a lot of attention drawn to you. J-Man, he's so high up here. He needs to finish off this fight quickly. He doesn't need this attention from these trios to be placed on him. It doesn't look like he wants to get more aggressive on this fight, though. For now, J-Man, this is exactly what I was talking about. You don't want this pressure on you, and you can see J-Man gonna eventually be spotted out there. And as he rotates off, all eyes might be on him. He takes some shots. J-Man runs into another squad, though. He's found some damage. He's found a shield crack, and he finds the elimination. It's exactly what you want to see. A Blink Master going down to him. J-Man makes it out either way. Very low on HP, trying to pop a medkit on the run here. Doesn't want to be shot at by these squads on the edge of zone. Flu here being one of those teams. J-Man, some good fights here. We'll switch our way over here to Raze, to Titles, who had lost their teammate A-Switch. They're looking to make up for it here. 7 squads remain, 10 players in this match. Means there has to be solos. That's an opportunity for Raze and Titles to capitalize on it. If you can eliminate some of these solos, these players that don't have backup, these players that don't have support, it can be so good for your game. Pooter, 1 to Infinity. Another one of these duos. Edge of zone. Uses Shockwave to get in, but Pooter actually puts himself out of zone, has to come back into it. Takes a little bit of damage as a result. 1 to Infinity, though, finds an elimination out of it. We see Pooter also taking a fight of his own. Creating these boxes, creating the space for his team. Just deciding not to take this fight anyway. Trying to rotate out, trying to get back to what could be high ground. You see his teammates using it to get up here. Just trying to take the zip line, but so many people are on it instead. 1 to Infinity. Stuck in zone here. Might get eliminated as a result. No, able to make it in just barely. No white HP, though. He can't take any more ticks, and he's got to be careful here. Finds the elimination, but he's going to be taken out himself. So he eliminates one, but he goes 1 for 1 as a result. And Pooter in a difficult situation now. Flu did some good damage. Now looking to find that elimination. Finds one onto 1 to Infinity, or finally gets the elimination for it. Let's see those heals coming through. Flu just looking for some shots, looking to take a pop shot onto height. Crack shield, but needs to play it safe now. Finds the shots, finds the damage. A little bit more was what he needs. With 3 players remaining in this match, just needs to stay alive for a little bit longer. See these players jumping around this position, both white on HP. Flu just trying to stay alive, trying to find the damage. Players above him, though, and that will be it for one. Pooter, very low on HP, trying to finish off this match, but it doesn't look likely. Pooter, very low. Finds a medkit on the floor, finds some builds, but it's not going to be enough. And Titles will come from the top ropes and take out Pooter to take the victory. Titles, 5 eliminations, A-Switch with 3, and Raze with 0, but a first place victory royale for their squad, and a good closing for the Gold League today. But we have more to come. Our Plat League is up next. Our most talented players are a part of our Plat